how to work around family, friends, and if you're in a relationship. So what you have to understand is business, you're working 90 days at a time. So everything's created in 90-day cycles. You start today, by the 60th day, you're not really seeing much. But if you keep going, by the 90th day, you start seeing the efforts of your labor, and it's kind of like a farmer plants some seeds. So you don't see a lot happening until you really put in a lot of consistent effort. What happens with most people is they quit right before the little blossoms start to come up. You're working, anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, and you don't see a lot. The main thing with consistency is never quit, because consistency leads to momentum. It's easy to let go of habits, but you gotta stay the course. Hey guys, welcome back to the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast with Anthony Powell. I'm excited. Today we're going to talk about some things that I get lots and lots of questions about from all entrepreneurs, guys and girls, right? People DM me on either YouTube, Instagram, a little bit of TikTok, but mainly Facebook and Instagram, and they ask questions about how to work around family, friends, and if you're in a relationship, right? If you're a guy in a relationship with a girl and a girl with a guy, right? What do you do if you're in a relationship? And once you're establishing your goals, right? You're getting your business and you're writing out your 90 days and your 1 year, and bottom line is, where are you going with your business? You're starting to create some volume. Now, what volume is sales volume. Okay, so if you're doing, let's say $100 a day or $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 a day, you're creating sales volume, right? Regardless of whatever it is. Now, what you have to understand is that business, you're working 90 days at a time. So everything's created in 90-day cycles. So you start today, and by the 60th day, you're not really seeing much. But if you keep going, by the 90th day, you start seeing the efforts of your labor, and it's kind of like a farmer plants some seeds. And they nurture the crop by putting water and then fertilizer, and then little by little, you see the little sprouts come out, right? Well, it's a lot of work to get that. That's the way business is conducted. So you don't see a lot happening until you really put in a lot of consistent effort. And what happens with most people is they quit right before the little blossoms start to come up, right? You plant the seed, and you just think, hey, if you don't water it, guess what? Seeds are gonna die. You don't keep the weeds out, seeds are not gonna create plants. So the bottom line is, you're working, anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, and you don't see a lot. You're just literally working your ass off. And you gotta understand that the main thing with consistency is never quit, because consistency leads to momentum. And this is one of the most important parts of business. The first part is creating momentum is done by consistent effort. So that's why as entrepreneurs, we work 12 to 15 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. See, the commons out there, some people call them brokies. I just call them commons. They're the 99 percentile. They'll actually make fun of you for working 12 to 15 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, because in their mind, they're just in the survival, just get by middle class America or middle class whatever country you're from. They don't understand about paying the price. So what you have to understand is that once you've hit momentum, it could take you 3, 6, 9, or 12 months to really get into a full cycle of business coming out the back door, which is what? Volume, and then volume creates what? Sales profit. So what happens is, when you start to get some sales and you start to get your profit, whenever that is, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, it's very easy to have some temptation. And this is the thing you want to write down. Temptation could be, a couple girls will start. If you're a guy, a couple girls are giving you attention, right? Because you now have a nice car, you're driving around, going to the gym, and people are looking at you now. That little bit of energy you're getting, or people staring at you, is giving you a little temptation. But the thing you got to understand it's not about that type of energy you're getting. What it's about is keeping going and keeping your momentum going. Okay, for example, let's say that you are starting to make, I don't know, $15,000 a month, right? You'd want to do what? Try to live on 5 and invest the 10 back into your business. Now, if it was me, I'd have a roommate and try to live on 2,500 and invest 12,500 back in my business. Because I know the more I did that, the faster I would grow my top line revenue. And I did do that. But the thing that you got to understand is, and this happened to me a lot, and I'm going to just read this to you and I'm going to talk about it. And that is, this is not a time to entertain friends or boyfriends or girlfriends. See, when you're in building mode, it's like going to war. When your business is in building mode, you're going to war. And you kind of have other people that are going to war mentality next to you. And if you have people that are not in a going to war mentality, which is building your business 6 to 7 days a week, 12 to 15 hours a day, other people that are around you, your old friends, your girlfriend, boyfriend, they just don't understand what the hell you're doing. They think you've lost it, you're going after some pipe dream, and many of them, not all, will start to make fun of you. Will start to say, hey, this is another one that happened. Because this is something that was big on me. It says the old you used to sleep in on Saturdays, right? So you'd go out Friday night, your friends are calling, they're saying, hey, we're going over here for pre-gaming, and then we're gonna go eat dinner here, and then we're gonna go just tear the town up, right? So that phone call or that text message would come into you or me and whoever, and we'd always, like normal people, that average Joe would go, okay, let's go get smashed. And then the next day comes, you're tired, Saturday is a waste, and then Saturday night you do it all over again. You try to do a Sunday fun day, and that vicious cycle puts you into deeper in the matrix because you just become a comment, right? And then you laugh about how stupid you acted last night, and your buddy, you and whoever's with you, you're like, hey, did you see when I said the stupid comment to such and such, and it was so funny? I mean, you just get into like stupid is as stupid does, right? And what you really have to do when you switch gears, and this is what I did, and this is what you have to do. You've got to switch gears, and you've got to say, that's it, no more. I'm not going out Friday night. I'm not going out Saturday night. I'm going to focus on resting on Sunday if I need to. I'm going to work a half a day Sunday if I have to do that as well too. So you got to understand, you've got to change. So many times when the phone calls came in and say, hey, here's where we're going, I would respond, thank you, I love you guys, but I'm gonna be working tonight. They go, oh, you're gonna be working on the phone? And I'd always go, yeah, I am doing that. And then 9 o'clock, hey, we're over here now. Hey guys, I'm still on the phone, I'm training one of my new guys. Oh, you're training one of your new people to do X, Y, and Z, or the cottage business. And then, 10, 11 o'clock, all the stupid drunk text messages come over and showing me all the girlfriends they're with and all the freaking drinking going on. And you know what I'm thinking? Not for me anymore. All I'm visualizing is the day I'm on my yacht, the trips I'm gonna take, paying in first class, having the best office that's ever existed, being able to afford whatever food I wish, being able to drive whatever car I want, the best athletic clubs money can buy, the best of everything because I choose to, because I sacrificed. Now, the thing about sacrificing is many times when this happens to you and those phone calls keep coming in, your old center of influence is attacking you. So that temptation, like I was talking about, it's gonna come in. And what you need to do is hang up the phone and you need to tell yourself what your goals and dreams are and then talk about that deadline with you. Because there's gonna be those evenings like I've had for years. At 11 o'clock, you're saying, man, is this worth it? You're training people, you're not getting paid to train somebody. But that's okay because what you're doing is you're creating a skill set that has value in the marketplace. Write that down. It's not about being paid for the time then. It's about increasing your value to the marketplace. And that is what's worth endless amounts of money. You can't even put a price tag on that. So what I need you guys to understand is, when you do get to that 10 and 20,000 plus a month, and it starts coming in, it's very easy to let go of your habits because now you've got the money, or you're starting to get the money, But in reality, you don't really have the money. You need to reinvest that money back into your business. But it's easy when now girls are starting to pay attention. If you're a guy, right? Guys are the worst. I'm sorry, guys. I know, I love you, but you guys need to mature up and grow some balls. Like, you guys have got to understand that girls need 1,000% of your attention. And then if they know that you're simping, which means that you can't say no, and you start doing things with them, and they can see you don't have balls to say, no, I can't do that, I'm building my business, which will probably attract them more, then they'll start walking all over you. They'll make you buy them things, they'll make them do this, because they know you won't say no. And then they see where your weakness is. They've all done it, I've done it. But if you don't get a hold of this, you're gonna go bankrupt, you're gonna lose your business you spent 3, 5, 10 years building, all because you wanted a little female attention. I'm telling you, it's not gonna serve you. I'm telling you, it's like voodoo. It's like Medusa's gonna take you down. Now, ladies, that you're watching this, you're going, gosh, that's strong. It is strong, because guys need to get strong about building their future. If you don't have enough cash in the bank, I'm not talking about what you're making on a monthly basis. I'm talking about if you don't have 100,000, you don't have $1 million yet, you can't not lift your head up and go play. You've got to get your money right before you go out there and start playing with women and start talking about setting up a house and all this bullshit. Because today's world will chew you up and spit you out if you don't have enough cash. And it will make you ride a roller coaster. It's very easy to let go of your habits that got you there, but stay on it. Invest your money, live under your means, and stay the course. So what if it takes you 10 or 12 years? It's worth it. I'm the only guy I know that did this. Most of my friends they all got rich and they just lost it all over women and going out to clubs and gotten into the Lambo bullshit and all the things. You could have had all that had you just invested it all and spent 10 to 15 years like I did, investing it all. So when you do come to the time where you don't need to work anymore, you don't really have to have a business going because your money's working for you. So write that down. It's easy to let go of habits, but you gotta stay the course. The last part is a lot of you guys go, why? Because here's the thing, write this down. There's 2 parts of business when you're building a business. Number 1, it's called forced volume. Write that down, forced volume. And in your first 3 to 5 years, you're pushing hard. Remember we talked about creating consistency and momentum? Well, in the first 3 to 5 years, the money coming in could be $1 million a month. That's because it could be $100,000 a month. It's not real business yet. It's business that you're advertising to get. You're pushing hard. You're bringing it in the front door. You're networking, your referrals. It's pushing. You got to go out there and get it. And if you let go of all of that, you go to 0. That's forced volume. Now, when you get 5 and 10 years down the road, you have what's called a senior business, which means mature business. So if you pull off your advertising a little bit, you're still at 500,000 to $1 million plus a month. The advertising is just to increase you to 1.5 or 2 million or 5 million a month, whatever your next goal is. But you have to understand, a lot of you guys, you push so hard and in your mind you're saying, oh, I need to just back off a little bit. Well, guess what? Guess who's around the corner? The underdog, the person willing to chew you up and spit you out because they're so broke, they'll do anything it takes to win at their business. That's the guy or girl you got to watch out for, because they're not going to sit down in 10 years. They already know what it was like to be broke for 10 years. They already know what it's like to eat top ramen and have, put some freaking peas in there and some eggs and boil that bad boy up for 25 cents. I did it. That's why I beat everybody in my office. I was like, I'm never going to be broke again. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to figure this thing out. Okay, but the bottom line here is this. I keep saying there's so many bottom lines, right? You just can't have your cake and eat it too when you're in building mode. You just can't. And you girls are a little bit easier. You guys, it just seems like, and not all girls, there's some girls are super jealous and all that kind of nonsense and get crazy. We don't want to talk about that here. But some girls, and a lot of girls, you guys can kind of put your guys on ice and you can focus on building businesses and creating things because you want to get your money right. Guys tend to, it's kind of like we're territorial. When we get a woman, and these feminists try to tell us otherwise, when we have our date or with a woman, that is like our territory. It's been that way since caveman days, since day one for men and women. And what's happened as of late, these freaking liberals out there are trying to say, oh no, men are not allowed to be men anymore. Bullshit. When we date a woman and some other guy tries to come around our fucking woman, it is war. Just the way it is. All guys think that way, even beta males. They don't want to tell you that, but that's the way it is. That's why sometimes guys that have not worked on themselves and got strong enough tend to fold when they get women and female attention. And if they get some dime pieces and they're paying attention to them, they don't understand how to differentiate between love, lust, and if someone's there to use them, right? The money. So what you need to do is you need to super focus on you, the gym, get your money right, and the rest will fall into place. The last thing I want to tell you, your goals need a deadline. Write out your goals, put a deadline to it. The deadline is going to force you to have to get up early, go to bed late, work 6-7 days a week, and do whatever it takes with no freaking excuses. When you guys message me and you ask me what's going on, it's because I did exactly what I'm telling you right here. There is no shiny lure. There's no get rich quick scheme. There's nothing but hard work and consistent work. And that's what you want, because that's where the skill set lies. Thanks, you guys. Make sure you hit the like, comment, and hit the bell. So when I put these out, these incredible podcasts every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, you're ready to go. And also it helps the algorithm, helps me get in front of more people to help people like you understand the real deal when it comes to becoming a digital entrepreneur. We'll see you next Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.